Live from the lavatory. Welcome to the Close Traffic Podcast, an aviation and flight simulation show. Welcome aboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Close Traffic Podcast, an aviation and flight simulation show. I'm Johnny, and the flight deck with me today is our main man, Charlie. Charlie, say hello to the people.
What's up, people? Welcome. Hope everybody's good. How are you doing, bro?
Man, we're here, bro. We're here, man. it's been a lot going on these past few weeks.
Sure.
Actually, last week, with this latest release, I had to talk about it. I had to talk about it. Yeah, I had to, man. So today we're talking about the A220, a little bit on the controversy that's been blowing up here. Anybody who's been following the hobby at all past few days, and our thoughts about it. So first and foremost, Synatpic. It's a collaboration between Synatpic Simulations and Inibuilds. They came into the project a little bit later. Apparently, the project started off initially as freeware, labor of love for a few developers. I think it's like 3, I believe. We met one. Yeah, it's a 3. Yeah. Yep. Well, we met them at Expo. Actually, great bunch of guys. They're really passionate about the project. I gave the opportunity I gave Mike the opportunity to play around with the 220 for a little bit, and it's nothing but solid and positive impressions from my point of view. So they just released it July the 28th, and it's been a roller coaster of emotions in the community ever since. Holy smokes, Charlie. So
like it changes every 5 minutes.
Oh gosh, man. It's like, where do I begin? So
kind of like that meme. I'm dead. I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm alive.
Well, I'm telling you, man, this is like, it's like some people need therapy over this whole thing, man. It's like, it's been crazy.
It's group sessions over this 220.
It's been crazy. So a little background or history on the aircraft in question, the aircraft that's being simulated, the 220-300. So it was initially purpose built to kind of fill the gap between regional jets and narrow bodies. Let's see here. It's supposed to tout greater range, lower fuel burn per seat in the next generation cockpit, even though the avionics suite is very, very, very strange. Not really Airbus, but not really Boeing. Very weird. But some crazy technological features in terms of the fuselage. Fiber reinforced, fly-by-wire controls, a fiber reinforced polymer wing. There we go. Aluminum, lithium fuselage panels, and fly-by-wire controls, of course. And so it was a clean sheet approach. This wasn't like, hey, we're about to take something built in 1950s or 60s or whenever, and then like just redo it a billion times, i.e. Boeing 737. but anywho, well, we all know
because isn't this thing the first actual fully composite wing of anything flying?
Yeah, I'm pretty
like you
sure.
got some hybrids. You got some hybrids, but like fully.
Yeah,
composite.
I'm pretty sure it's either that. It's either that, or because I think the 787 has a combination.
Yeah,
of several materials.
Yeah, because I know that thing flex, bro.
Yeah, so it's a pretty interesting aircraft. So needless to say, people's excitement, enthusiasm for this project is going to be freaking through the roof, right? So the thing dropped 28. I think probably from what I've seen in the community, the biggest thing that initially kind of caused a bit of a ruckus was, a lot of the content. And we've been saying, man, I've been saying this for, I hate to pull my Russell K Russell K impression from Independence Day. I've been saying it. I've been saying it for 10 damn years.
I ain't been saying it,
Miguel. Bro, you're not doing yourself nor the developer any favors going into these aircraft unstudied. You just can't do it.
You can't.
Got these copies of these aircraft. They got on whatever platform they were getting on, had no clue what they were freaking doing, and some, not all, were trying to associate certain design quirks that are inherent airplane as a bug. I think someone was mentioning, I'm not going to say any names, but they were mentioning, because of the ILS, the localizer intercept or whatever is kind of jank. That's kind of a thing with Bombardier.
Legit. And
truth be told, I've heard that 20 years ago with the CRJ. So it's not like it's nothing new. It's not, that
CRJ don't like it if you're steep angled. She's like all over the place trying to cap, or it just won't cap it at all.
But that's, hey, as an airman, that's why we're there to intervene, and that's why typically below 10,000 feet, your hands are on the controls, because sometimes even in real world, autopilots tend to do whatever the hell they want to do. I mean, that's just a part of it. Anything that's human designed, are going to have certain quirks. That's just a reality. And I think sometimes as simmers, we're in this vacuum, right, where everything has this perfect flow and everything's perfectly engineered and everything works as intended, and that's simply not the case. So you had that. You had there folks were out there. It was all kinds of shenanigans. And again, like I said, man, I was just like, I'm doing research. I'm intrigued. I didn't know much about this aircraft. So I'm like, man, let me do some research. So I'm researching the aircraft, and it was some pretty interesting things as it relates to, like, wow, I had no idea, even though I think my first trip in one was that was like either right before or right after COVID, I forget, but it was from Minnie to Salt Lake, I think, or something like that. It was a 220-100, and probably the best ride I ever had out of any aircraft. And since then, I've always been fascinated by it. So, but yeah, so you had all of this going on, the aircraft releases, and it's, for some people, it was another train wreck. So let me preface it, add this preface to the conversation. I personally didn't have too many issues in terms of performance. Charlie, did you, when you first, I think you fired up today, didn't you?
Yeah, today's the first day I've messed with it. I messed with it, golly, better part of today. And the performance issues for me were not there. Honestly, it's run pretty good compared to some of my other stuff. Phoenix, to me, it was way better than the Phoenix.
Yeah,
for my particular rig.
Exactly.
Preface that, because every piece of hardware is different. I don't care.
Lord, yes.
You know how it is, man. You can have two of the exact same, and one's going to do something, and one's going to do another.
Absolutely, man. And and that's one of the things, as a developer, that we have to keep in mind, and it really pays dividends to have a very comprehensive alpha and beta and overall quality assurance program. Especially when it's one thing when an aircraft or something like that is, or any software is freeware. When you step into the realm of charging people for products, there's a level of quality that consumers and especially simmers, you just have to have.
Yeah.
And having those, um, comprehensive beta programs with a nice bit pool. I've seen them where projects to where you've initially at level one you're starting off with a smaller testing pool with various expertise in the aviation industry, um, and various hardware environments. Then you expand that pool to really try to really get the biggest sample size you can.
Yeah.
And up to and including just having early access. Chasing performance issues is tough. Don't get me wrong, it is hard. Even in the healthcare realm, as a software developer, it's difficult. I mean, there's a lot of conversations when it comes to implementing a software, especially when looking at critical care environments such as ORs and things like that. You got to make sure during that testing phase that you're crossing every I and crossing every T and dotting every I, and even then things are missed. But with all that being said, that was the biggest issue I've heard from a lot of folks with, as far as like day one. There's some folks out there that just flat can't run it.
Yeah,
what I mean?
Absolutely cannot.
And for me, I can kind of understand the frustration. So I mean, that's kind of like, and that's I don't know, man. And you see this with every release, just because and we're all guilty of it. You're kind of stuck in that vacuum, and well, everything's working great for me, so surely it's not, it's not the aircraft, or it's not, whatever, and it should be working great for you. Maybe it's something on your end. And they'll go and it will be like, for example, they may have a certain section in the Discord just for reporting bugs, and someone will report their issue or whatever, and a month's reporting the issue, they'll also say like how vent their frustration, which is normal. I get that all the time from from clinicians where I work. And it doesn't do the community any favors going in as someone who's not having issues and trying to defend the developers. It just doesn't. These are grown men and women. They don't need you going in there and and defending them and cluttering the chat, where a lot of folks use the chat to come up with a debug list. And now they got to go through, okay, this guy was saying this, XYZ, whatever. So it's just like, sometimes it's best just to shut up. Like if you're not having an issue, shut up.
Exactly.
Being honest.
That's it.
Because I mean, but then on the flip side, I also get it. You get tired of seeing folks. Sometimes it's not so much of a critical, or a meaningful contribution, as far as bug reporting. Sometimes it's just folks ranting, and in that case, it just is what it is. You're not going to freaking please everybody. Another thing that I saw were missing features. For example, no CPDLC, which I think they had it was a live, I think it was like sometime last year, 2025, where they were discussing, that they were looking at adding CPOs. I have no idea what happened with that. But a lot of folks are kind of feeling away about that. But, aside from all that, I mean, there were some, positive aspects. Like for me, I thought the audio was okay. There was,
I mean, I ain't had no issues with the audio. That house is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's, but then again, you got some audio engineers in there who they feel that was, terrible mixing, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know. I'm not an audio engineer. I can't test. All I know is the thing sounds pretty close to the thing I sat in, had in Salt Lake. That's all I know. I'm just saying, bro. Like, it's just, I mean, And visuals are pretty solid for me, at least. On my rig, I thought they were pretty solid as well. So I mean, there was a lot of positives as it relates to the overall release. Some of the quirks that I've heard the 220 having, I thought they were implementing pretty well. It's debatable whether or not the localizer intercept thing was overdone.
Yeah, exaggerated.
It depends on who you talk to. I've heard some real world 220 drivers or XCRJ drivers. They, some folks say it was a little overdone in there instead. Some folks say it was spot on. I mean, it's just like anything else. It's a very subjective thing, right? So, I don't know, man.
And don't some of that come back down to sceneries as well, though, man? Like you're flying like capturing an ILS. I mean, don't like a custom scenery with everything.
I think that does play a role in it.
Isn't that going to react a little different than the native one?
Yeah. So I mean, there's that too. But overall, I think. I guess that's where we kind of slide into, how we feel. I thought maybe another month of that thing cooking. Exactly. I probably wouldn't have felt a way if they did like an early access or something.
That's what they should have done.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, we're gonna give it to you. It's not perfect. Help us out, type of deal.
Yeah. Especially at the price point, $70, which again, I think the finish,
that's pretty good lick.
Yeah. I think once the thing gets dialed in, one would have no issue with, paying $70. For sure. For me, I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just what it is. I wanted 220, and to be honest, I mean, I could have said like $100 and I was just, hey, I'm guilty. I would have, and it's like, I say vote for your
grumbled the whole way to putting that credit card info in.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, man, like my expectations are, and this is no slight against any developer, my expectations are always low, because when you're, when you're in the hobby, for as long as we have, you're going to run into turds. I mean, you're going to run into some aircraft that just slap do not run. Like, I don't know, like who tested this? I don't know. Which going back to the testing, I think some of those, some of the problems or bugs that were present, I feel, and again, I don't know the conversations that were happening in the background, but some of those, like, I just feel that, somebody should have caught it. I'm gonna be honest. Like the whole flaps thing, which
that's pretty weird.
Yeah, because you have that issue. I have that issue.
That's my biggest issue currently. I think I finally got it resolved, but
that should have totally been caught. I'm going to be honest with you. But again,
and then I had that one Wasm crash.
Yeah, and Wasm, the whole Wasm thing, that's been a point of contention as well. Was that the one where you're like all of your everything MFDs went blank, right?
Yeah, and I was like about to push.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yep, I've seen that as well.
But what's weird is, and I think I've said this before, like when I actually download the add-on from the marketplace, I tend to have more issues with that than if I just stream it.
Right. I do too, man.
Once I uninstalled that and just streamed it, I really hadn't had an issue other than the quirks, just trying to get that figured out, flaps, that kind of crap.
Yeah, I do too. And then like again, when you have that comprehensive, alpha and beta. However, again, with that diverse, testing testing pool that you have, you're going to have, like, for example, aviators, they don't give a crap about what the flaps look like as long as based on what they're seeing, right? And the action of the aircraft. So if I deploy my flaps and they have another group that's that group plus an expanded pool of, experienced simmers.
Yeah.
Because, again, simmers do some things, i.e. GSX.
Exactly.
Most of the chase plane, those integrations, testing those integrations, because I get it. I totally get it. That's not always necessarily the forefront or the focus in the development process. PMDG will slap tell you, GSX is not. They're not going to go if it somehow aligns with their development path and it works. Great, but they're not going to go out of their way to do that. Why? Because there's a massive market of console users. They're trying to make sure this aircraft is compatible for it. Point blank. That's just what it is. So I get that. However, when you have a release this anticipated, there needs to be at minimum, an attempt to ensure that some of those integrations are there. Now, in their defense, boom, pre-release, you got your GSX profile. Cool. But I pushed back with GSX, bro, and for one reason or another, I don't know, GSX doesn't know, or it's not looking at, or is not able to look at the engine RPM to determine whether or not, to brain fart, to instantiate to queue up the confirm, engine to start it, you clear to push. That. I mean, where were our antennas when that issue came up? You know what I'm saying? Or could have been could the project been on at the time, could it have been a situation where they're on GSX was on 4.0.8 and then 4.0.9 drop and that blew it up?
Yeah.
Because you see what I'm saying? And, that's, there's possibilities there. But I think at minimum, a lot of the issues that we're seeing, and then this is just been in the software industry for close to 20 years. Testing is everything. I mean, this airplane is there. In my opinion, again, like I didn't have nowhere near the issues a lot of folks had, but I think maybe another month in that beta stage. I don't know, man. I think we'll be having different conversations conversations at this point. What do you think, Charlie?
I agree, man. I mean, it sucks too. Like I feel for the folks that, you spend good hard-earned money and then you can't even run it. But it's like you said, another month, I really think that this whole thing would have been completely different.
Yeah, for sure. And then there were some other other I guess complaints or points of contention. Folks were saying that the EFB was too simple, which I did know some performance calculation issues with the EFB, which I did
one earlier, and it said I need a landing distance of 18,000 feet.
Jesus, man, were you in the space shuttle?
Yeah,
my man was in the Challenger, bro.
Saturn V rocket, bro.
Yeah, man, my man was going to the freaking moon,
and everything was right. I had everything right in there.
Yeah,
it was a little weird.
Yeah, stuff like that. But you extend a little grace with issues like that. Man, that's cool. But again, going back to where the thing just wasn't slap running for some folks.
Yeah.
I think that definitely put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. Yeah. In addition to that, it seems like right now we're on 1.0.1 if I'm not mistaken. They skipped 2. For I think there was some reasoning behind that, but I forget right now. So now they're at 1.0.3, which they apparently pushed. However, you got the same content creators, they're out sending it now, and I understand both things, and again, shout out to Synaptic for being transparent, like, hey, this is what happened. So apparently they, or those who were in the early testing phases, or receive press copies or what have you, they're already on Manager. So as soon as the team does that push, it populates, it goes to Sobo's ingest server or Microsoft ingest server, and then it goes to Manager. Well, if it goes to the Manager, boom, it's immediately there. So folks are updating, and like, hey guys, we're welcome to Scooter McDo Simulations. We're sending the 1.0.3 update. Screw you. I mean, that's how some folks are feeling, because again, these same people with the performance issues, they can't send jack. So they're like
out there sending it.
Yeah. So they're
LAX to Vegas.
Exactly. So again, I understand both sides. Especially when Microsoft, that's just what it is. They have their update periods, and there's nothing that they can do about that. Even for some of the more popular releases, Microsoft is not moving, their times at all. I think
on them for that, man. In my opinion.
Well, they said, I don't know if you remember. Expo.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they were making improvements on update frequency. Have you noticed much of a difference, Charlie?
Shit, no. No.
I mean, it's
every Tuesday. I mean, if there's an update, it's happening on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, I have seen some last minute pushes, make it or whatever.
What's funny to me about it, man, it's like somebody releases a highly anticipated aircraft. It's like, okay, guys, we give y'all one quick update, and that's it. The rest is on Tuesday. Don't it seem that way? It's like, because that first initial, like a hot fix or whatever, they get pretty quick, and then it's like, nah, sorry, that was your one.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that hot fix was desperately needed, because even I had issues, because apparently when you were on the man, thank heavens, because when you were on the legs page or something like that, like legs, something like that
page or something.
Yeah, it exposed a massive memory leak. Man, I'm talking about if you got like a 30-something gigs of RAM, bro, like it's taking half of it. Wow. Like it was bad. It was bad. So they didn't have no choice, because the already pool of folks who can't even do point A to point B type things, that pool is even bigger.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't fly it. So in that instance, they had no choice. But a lot of folks kind of question what really drives developers to favor marketplace over whatever platform, whether it be Contrail or whatever. And I think, what do you think?
Consoles.
Yeah, consoles and DRM, digital rights management, man.
Oh yeah.
That's been a huge
servers ain't no joke.
Yeah, which I'll give them this, man. Releases are super smooth. Like as far as downloading for me, like it's freaking amazing.
Yeah,
but caveat to that is, you're at the mercy of, their ingest process, and it's just, man, sometimes it's painful. I'm not gonna lie.
Because I guess they vet the updates, each one they get sent, I guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I think they do. I forget. I think we had
like I&I's not doing that. It's just like you said, just going up there and boom, it's
well.
there.
I mean, most of the times I&I are the ones who are vetting it. You see what I'm saying? So it's already legit.
Exactly.
So they're just pushing it. That's been a painful process, man. I ain't gonna lie. I feel for some of the folks who, they still can't fly the thing. Now, that being said, I think everybody's opinions have been noted. So getting on there now and blasting them is probably not going to serve any sort. In fact, like I was there, man, there was a I think it was under their bug section in Discord. I'm telling you, man, there's been some interesting reading. Yeah. For reporting issues, man, they got a post that got. Oh shit! I kid you not, man. It was like over 500. It finally got locked. Those were like 500 comics, man. I've never.
Holy cow!
I've never seen it to where
500.
500, bro. 500 because there's a gentleman on there and or gentle lady, whatever. I mean, they pretty much voiced their concerns. In my mind, it was respectful. But basically, it was regarding we got 1.0.1 and why folks are out there streaming 1.0.3. Which again, and now personally, like for me, again, I've been like how many trips? I think I've done maybe 4 trips in that thing, and it's been outside of understanding the nuances and the quirks of the aircraft. It had been horrible. I've been able to complete a flight, but yeah, again, I just that just goes back to what we were saying before. I mean, hey, don't watch them. I mean, that's all I can tell you at this point.
That's it.
I think things will get better once it finally drops on the Indie store.
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to say. Well, I wonder why these devs don't do that. If it's going to multiple platforms, why does it seem like it? Well, to your point, DRM, that makes sense.
Yeah, the whole piracy thing, man, that's been that's been a huge ordeal.
But it's like if it's dropping on Marketplace, it should drop on I in my world.
Yeah, and some developers do that. I think for like Fly Somewhere, when it drops on his store, within a few days, give or take, like it drops on Marketplace as well.
Yep.
Again, that's to combat piracy. But I think the 340 did the same thing. Like it dropped on the Marketplace, and then it that was like what, a couple months.
Something
ended up dropping on the Indie store. Which for me, man, it just when stuff drops in the Indie store, it just works because it I think you mentioned it earlier. Like you'll install something like because what was the issue you're having? It didn't like you didn't see all your liveries.
That was on me. I didn't realize that I actually had to install the livery pack. So I just installed the aircraft, like you just do with anything else, and whatever liveries are normally there. Well, with this, you actually had to download and install.
Yeah, on the Indie store.
Yeah.
Which I did post there on the chat. I'm like, hey y'all, liveries done drop. Y'all go
see.
ahead.
I thought you was talking about Dot 2. I was like, what is the dude talking about already?
No,
it's got like another 3 or 4 days, and he's already installing livery.
No, heck yeah, bro! I'm telling you, I was hyped for the drop, man. I was freaking ready for it. And then on top of all that, I was flying. I'm like, man, why don't my terrain map look like everyone else's? And apparently, and then that was another explosion on Discord where you had to install their map server, which okay, cool. Tons of products utilize external programs, whatever. FS Labs, Phoenix, all of them got something running in the background. Cool, whatever.
All of them.
Man, I tried to download that thing, bro. It took like 2 hours.
Dang.
It was bad. It
took me like probably 30 minutes today.
But you downloaded it from the Indie store, didn't you?
I did the link, and then their paperwork is where I did it from.
Okay. So they finally put it.
Because I did a search on any store, but nothing come up. So I just assumed it was a back end type deal.
Yeah, it was, and I think,
which I ain't a smart man, so
where Forrest Gump. Not a smart man.
I'm not a smart man. But what an A320 is.
Oh my gosh, the shenanigans. But yeah, if you go to, let me see if I can share my screen here. If you go to
show the good folks.
Yeah. I'm gonna find it. I was in there somewhere.
Just make sure it ain't you with your shirt off or nothing like that.
Oh yeah, man. One of my
Johnny at the beach
or
fishing.
Something. Yeah. Freaking feet pics or something.
Hey, them worth money, man. Feet tender or something like that.
Oh gosh, man. Dear Lord, I can't with you, man.
Tired. It's been a long week, bro.
Oh, dude, it's been a long week, man. It's been a long week. I'm over here looking, but I saw that you sent it earlier, Charlie. Aside from the nuances and the quirks with her, what do you think?
Man, kind of like you, man. I think for what it is, it's fairly solid. I would just say if you haven't picked it up and you are going to be prepared for a little bit of trial and error doing things. Because I'll be honest, I started it about 7:00 this morning and finally got it off the ground about lunch. By the time you set everything up, download the map server, kind of go through everything, because I tried to learn a little bit, like the flight management system. I ain't trying to do that at 38,000 feet.
Yeah.
So, just you got to have a little patience with it. But overall, solid, man. She looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the freaking curb appeal in that thing, man, it's just good grief.
Yeah. Oh, and the biggest thing I'll say, when you start the engines, patience.
Yeah.
They're working. They're turning. It might not look at it outside, or, you're in one display might not show it, but be patient because it does take a minute.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, because you was like,
I was like, Johnny, man, is these things take this long? I was like, man, this thing ain't cracking.
Yeah, man, that's them Pratt Whitney geared turbo fans, bro. They freaking take
about 12-13%, and then finally it's like, woof, and she's gone.
I think that's that dual cooling thing, man, that they do.
Yeah.
I know on the Pratt and Whitney, the PWs on the Neo that FS Labs has, it does the same. Man, thing freaking takes decades. In fact, our good friend Rob, there's actually a way that apparently you can shorten the cooldown, because that's what it's doing, right? It's cooling,
cooling the engine down.
Yeah, it's cooling that hot side prior to kicking in the gas. And for Pratts, they take a minute. So but I don't
they run a little hotter too, don't they? Don't Pratts
do they
run a little hotter?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Especially like those geared turbo fans, man, I have no idea. I know real world they can't hardly keep them things running on the 220.
Yeah,
apparently
you telling me that.
Yeah, I was doing my research, man, and they seem to be maintenance hogs for sure. They can't, to the point to where, some aircraft are grounded because they're waiting on engines. I thought that was wild, man. I thought that was super efficient, very efficient engine. But like
that's something I didn't realize, man. Like when I was at Cruise, that thing was burning 4,000 pounds of side.
Oh, really?
Fuel. Yeah, I was like, golly, that thing's got a lot of fuel that's burning.
Yeah. Well, was like a headwind or something like that?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a headwind. But you wouldn't think 4,000 pounds an hour.
4,000 pounds, Charlie, for real?
Mm-hmm. That's what I saw.
Dang. Yeah, I don't think my burn was that high. But then again, there's no telling. Man, I can't even freaking find it. But yeah, it's on. If you gotta search it up. It's on the Indie Manager, I believe, somewhere. I found it at one point. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now that I waited 3 decades to freaking download. But I think all of that, man, is just a result of initially this thing being, and this is just purely pure speculation on my point. I think that's just a result of at one point this thing being freeware, So
I do too. I do
yeah,
too. I agree with that.
So there's like, hey, we're just gonna throw this thing up on, a server, and folks can download it and whatever.
Yeah,
and
like the whole map server thing. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I think they kind of underestimated the folks' excitement that people were going to go nuts for this thing. Oh, and it's also missing weather radar too, man. What do you think? I don't know. Me personally, man, folks are going to fly.
I didn't even know
that through dang storms anyway. So
I didn't know that was missing. I hadn't even made it that far.
Yeah, there's no weather radar. They hadn't implemented it yet, but like I was mentioning, man, like it'll be on VATSIM and careening through a freaking cell. So it's like, man, like, what are y'all missing anyway? Because y'all gonna fly through the crap. I don't know.
But you know what's funny, man? The weather radar thing is just kind of that way with a lot of aircraft. It seems.
What's that?
Just not having it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Properly.
It's true weather radar, in my opinion. I think the only one that's been able to just kind of nail it, like, it's been X-Plane. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm right there with you.
As far as like, the intensity, just in the gang, the tilt, and actually being, reflecting what it is, what you're seeing on the scope to outside, but most devs as of late have at minimum been able to put an approximation of some weather rate, because again, most simmers, like, they're just don't know what they're looking at. So hey, there's some green there, let me avoid it, or hey, there's green there, woo, it's full sand, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know.
Red means go.
Yeah. Yeah, like, that's what folks are doing. So I don't know, man. Like, that's just one of those things to where I could
go here the other night with that storm. Good Lord.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, you almost got blown,
Dude, they
blown
confirmed
away.
I didn't tell you. They confirmed it. It was an EF0 tornado like 2 miles from my house.
Really?
Yep.
Good Lord. Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Things are, I don't know. So at least, like, I don't know, Mississippi, we got them.
Oh,
like,
man,
this time of the year,
worse down there than we did.
It's bad. Well, Texas, it's even worse. And I didn't imagine it being so bad. But I guess we're so north, like, kind of close to that tornado alley type area, to where it's just like, okay, But yeah, man. So I don't know. It's like, out of the box now for me. If I had to rate it, Charlie, like 5.5.
Really?
out of 10. Yeah. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it.
6.5, 6.7.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's not saying that it's bad. I mean, it's really not. It's just an early stage aircraft.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, at first it's easy to, be frustrated at the fact, wow, they've worked on this thing 5 years and this and that.
Yeah.
You got, we have to realize that early on, this thing was freeware. Priorities and conversations change when you're about to be charging folks for stuff. So there may have been some things that they had to completely redo. We don't know.
Yeah.
So, when that's, when you're having those, those pivots in a project of any level, I mean, that takes time. It's just as simple as that. I know, outside of the development, the shortcomings as it relates to the bugs, just overall getting the hang of the airplane, man, it's been a challenge, because it's a little deceiving, because you're looking at all these screens. It looks very A350ish to me.
Oh yeah.
Airbus, I'm thinking A350. It's like, bro, heck yes, I don't have to do crap. I just gotta press a button. And like, folks are thinking like they can sit back and let it do its thing. No, this is not that. This is not that. It's more akin, to my mind, to a CRJ than it is anything else, man.
Yeah,
straight up. So it was, again, it absolutely was not surprising to see folks get non-stream, and just complete shenanigans, man. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine what VATSIM's looking like. I mean, I just couldn't.
Oh man, I hadn't even looked.
I just couldn't. Yeah, dude, it has to be, man.
It's gotta be.
Gosh,
especially if they didn't get the nav data stuff sorted out.
Yeah, and to me, that's more of like a workflow, and like in my mind, it's more like a workflow thing because when you, and again, this is one of those aircraft you really got to read up on. So how I understand it, there's two sources of navigation data you can utilize. You can utilize the native 2024 nav data, or you can use the Navigraph nav data. Well, I'm a card carrying Navigraph user, so naturally I want to use Navigraph data. Well, if you don't go in there and like fully select it, things get weird. Like that day one, I downloaded it, and this again, it's probably one of those marketplace things because I installed it and I immediately went to DFW, loaded everything up, and went there. I thought I selected my nav data. And I was like, and I don't know if you guys seen it, I posted it in the chat. I'm like, man, why does my route look like this? I forget. I think they like the Houdat 2 or something like that out of DFW, one of the usuals. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and you had like 20 lines and 20 miles.
Oh, bro. And then I had one waypoint like 18,000 miles away. I'm like, why the heck does my crap look like this? So
then you had like one to the east, and then the next one was like to the west.
Yes, I was getting fuel calculation errors and all that. Man, my that thing.
Yeah, it was 180 something thousand pounds of fuel or something.
Yeah, dude, it was nuts, man. So I had to back out. By that time, what did I do? Yeah, I think I backed out and then went back in, and I guess it finally found my my nav data package or whatever. I installed it, and as far as nav data, I hadn't had an issue since. Now that being said, when you build your flight plan, you also want to double check your route too, because it's discontinuity happy. Like it loves just discontinuity.
It loves discons. Yes,
to the point. I think that is a bug and between, because I mean most of the time it's going to be between you get your en route portion and then arrival, and then typically between that transition there may most avionics packages are going to put a discontinuity there, which makes sense, whether it be vectored or whatever. Okay, cool. Well, it'll be like discontinuities, like you're like, wait, why is there a discontinuity there? But double check your flight plan. I say all that to say that. So, aside from that, I think there are some issues with ILS tuning. Again, I can't think of one product that hasn't dropped, and I have had some issue here and there as it relates to approaches, things of that nature. So again, you just got a freaking airplane and work through it, right? Trying to think of anything else, man, but yeah, that was that was my biggest, I guess, point I wanted to touch base with the people on, is the fact that definitely be patient. I think this product has a lot of potential. I really truly do.
Oh, I do too.
I think some of the developers, they definitely showed some frustration, including in the Discord. There was one that you can tell he was incredibly frustrated. Some warranted, some unwarranted. It happens. One thing I hope they take this release as a learning experience. I hope they, take a lot of lessons learned and moving forward, especially in my mind, when it comes to like the overall workflow as it relates to, the nav data, things like that nature. That can be, it can be a little quirky, because like case in point, I know in healthcare, it's like workflow is huge. And if we're designing a front end UI and whatever feature we're adding, if that adds 3 additional clicks that the clinician has to take, you got to throw it out. Like you got to throw it out. So workflow is everything. It's big in healthcare, and it's big in aviation. Some of your top avionics manufacturers out there are known for their ease of workflow. Aviation, time is a resource that is finite. So having to, whittle around a bunch of menus and this and that, that's just a non-starter in both real world and what we do. So, hopefully it takes some lessons learned with that, and move forward. And despite the pushback with with the fact that they're I guess they're now charging for the Dash 100 and the
I was about to bring
variant.
that up. What do you think about that, bro?
Man, it is what it is, man. We've seen so many pivots in the past. At the end of the day, no matter how we feel about it, folks are going to pick it up. That's just what it. I'm sorry. I get it. It's really it's a relationship, right? It's a relationship. It's a relationship between the developer and the community, and for a developer to say one thing and then fast forward to the release or whatever, and now it's the story's changed. It's all about setting expectations. It's almost to a point to where it's just better not to even say at that particular juncture whether or not there's going to be a fee, because you don't know what the future holds. That dev time is money, right? So we don't know at this point of the project how many labor hours is going to take. So is this something that's truly doable for the price point of for free? I mean, at the end of the day, again, once you venture off that platform of freeware and you start talking about, billing for this, charging for this and charging for that, those conversations have to happen well in advance, right? So, again, it's another one of those lessons learned. But yeah, people are still going to pick it up. But what about you?
Yeah, nah, man. I'm like you. They still gonna buy it. I'm still gonna buy it. People might not like this, but they kind of took a page right out from our good PMDG fellas.
Oh, about that cup of coffee, man?
Well, no, like we're going to release this one and then this one and then the one you really want is 3 down the line.
Because man, I didn't, and you brought it up too, man. Because this is how uninformed I was on the 220. I thought a 220 was,
I did too, man. That's what I said earlier.
Because there's so few of them.
Charlie, I didn't realize
there's so few of them flying, especially in my neck of the woods, man. I just don't see them. I think we get a BC3 from Delta, and let me check Flyware. We get a BC3 from Delta maybe once or twice a day. I think even less now, but that's it. And it's funny.
Are the ones?
No, they're threes. They're threes actually. I'm looking here now. I'm on Flyware. I'm looking here now. Heck, even in this little, I'm looking at, what am I looking at? Departures. No, this is what the heck are you doing, Flower? Oh my gosh, man. This thing's so jank.
You gotta have that enterprise subscription, bro.
Yeah, bro, that's what they want. Yeah, don't you got it?
Yeah, I'll look at it.
Man, go on, send that thing. I'm up here struggling and freaking like they're sitting here waiting on me.
Yeah, I'm like,
no, Jane, my man got that. My man has a Uber level subscription.
Well, heck, they get all of my data, so I should.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. But yeah, and then what's funny is the majority of the ones I see are pushed back away from the gate because they're probably waiting on engines. I don't know. They're right, bro.
Oh, good.
They're
yes. Let me log in.
But yeah, I just don't see many of them, and truthfully, I don't see many of them just flying. Period. I don't know. I think Mike kind of asked this question as well. It's is it why? And this is probably completely off base, and I'm totally cool to admit that. Did it not sell as well as folks might have expected, or what? I mean, I guess that's something we could have easily researched, but
yeah.
I mean, and then I guess in the scheme of things, also the aircraft is still fairly young. There's still orders that Airbus is fulfilling. I just recently seen something on Simplifying. They're doing a revamp, not completely adding a new variant, but they're completely like redoing the interior. They're also adding a high density interior as well. To that, did you get logged in yet?
Shoot, I'm still trying to find one. To be honest with you,
Man, you see what I'm saying? Like, you just don't see many of them.
Let me do. Let's see here.
So when I picked it up, like, okay, that's 300, and then I really kind of got to looking. I was like, well, what was I on? Come to find out, I was on the Dash 100 variant, and apparently, from what I've seen, it seems like Delta has more 100s than 300s. If I'm mistaken.
No, yeah, that's exactly right, and that's one thing I didn't know until started doing a little more.
I know. Breeze is sending the ever living snot out of them. Because that's lately that's what I've been running Moxie ops, man. Because the only route I've seen that I thought was pretty cool from Delta, I think they did like a mini to Chicago. That's pretty short, but everything else was like 2.5+ hours. Yeah, I hadn't. I'm looking now, especially at DFW, man. I'm just not.
Let me do this right here.
I'm not finding much of anything. Let's see.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay, so Air Canada sends one from Montreal. That leaves at 12. Well, left at 12:48 yesterday, and made it there at 4:55. But yeah, I mean that's like all that. Like I found one. But it's an interesting airplane. Okay, I'm sorry. They got a Dash 300 from DFW. It goes to DFW to LaGuardia. So
that's literally what I'm finding too, man. That's wild.
Yeah, ain't many of them, man. Now again, when you pull up Breeze, you start seeing a few more. I mean, there's like I got one here. What was that? Moxie.
Going to. Oh, that says Houston.
Yeah, Raleigh Durham to Tampa. Yeah. Jet, and then we got JetBlue as well. Yeah, mostly like the longer hauls, man. I'm really looking for those Dash 100 ops, man, because it looked like that our regional jet kind of narrow body type of sectors. That's kind of what I'm looking for, like the shorter route. So
hour 30, something like that.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm looking for. Because like this one here, Breeze sends from Southwest Florida to Albany, man. It's like, good Lord. Seattle, Delta has one from Seattle to John Wayne. I guess that's not horrible. Yeah, that's not terrible. That's 2 hours. Yeah, about 900 miles. That's about what I've been seeing. About 900 mile sectors, 900 to 1,000 miles. What I've been seeing. I think I did one. It was like 1,300. Man, it was crazy. But but yeah, and again, I did that trip.
There's a Delta Mini to Austin.
Yeah, I did. What was it? Oh, what the heck was that? I think that was Breeze. That was from Provo. That was to Provo, Utah. Which is a pretty cool trip. But yeah, left out of DFW, no issues, man. No issues.
Here you go, Johnny. Here's a Moxie Jaeger to Myrtle Beach.
Oh yeah,
FYI, and the 3.
And the 3 for real?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm missing the none of that then.
I love that friggin' airport. It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's so pretty, man. The approaches. Now Provo, don't sleep on Provo either, man. I don't know if you've been to Provo, but
I haven't been there.
It's a pretty interesting approach. I forget the scenery that I'm running, but it's a pretty interesting approach. And to your point, shout out to you, Charlie, because you did mention, you was like, man, those breeze ops are going to be the way. I'm like, man, I'm not messing with breeze. Because their routes, they're not really. I'm used to hub and spoke, and they're not really
exactly.
Man.
No, they're not at all.
They're not. But man, they got, what was it? Gulfport to Vegas, I think. Gulfport, Mississippi to Vegas. They go to New Haven. I mean, it was tons of routes for so that's going to be like 90% of my operations with it until that 100. I might send Delta just to say, you know, I might do that mini to Chicago trip I found just to say I ran some Delta ops, but yeah, that's pretty much going to be it.
Like there's another breeze, Tampa to Picola.
Really? Oh, okay. That's a short one. That's not bad.
Then you got what is that?
What joystick?
Oh, I forgot that they changed the name of it.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Trump International to JFK. That's
I got you.
One.
Yeah. Oh, JetBlue. Okay.
Yeah. Delta Glacier to Mini. That'd be a fun one.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one. Yeah.
But yeah, most of them. Oh, here's another Moxie, Tampa to Charleston.
Charleston, yeah.
They must have a hub in Charleston.
Got to. Yeah, I think that is.
I joined the Little Breeze VA just so I had something to send this thing with.
Yeah.
And like,
is that a hub there?
The hub I picked was Charleston.
Yeah. That's a pretty interesting airport too, man. I got that scenery there. So
man, I love Charleston. You know, you take into like 1-5 out there, and you go beside all them C5s.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they're stationed. Airlift.
Yep. So I mean, I think the 220, and again, this goes back to y'all have to understand. People don't get emotional about things they don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not because people are hating on the airplane or hating on the developers. It's because the community is absolutely ecstatic. The energy is there. That's why they're putting that energy into borderline slander, because they feel such a way about the airplane, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, you know, my kids, like, well, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't,
I
wouldn't reprimand you, right? You know, it's like,
exactly
I don't care what you did, you know? You know, so I mean, I think with some time, especially when that thing hits the manager, man, those updates are gonna be.
And truthfully, I was kind of holding out for that just because
I know, because it's like first,
I'm like
Charles,
talk about something you ain't seeing, you ain't been.
I know, bro. I know, you know, because Charles like, man, I ain't touching that thing until y'all call me when that thing drops Saturday morning. I'm like, what are you doing?
I get up like 5:30 at 6 o'clock. I'm already in the chair downloading it.
Oh my gosh, man! But yeah, no, I mean, that was the same for me. Like I had to, you know, I didn't want to get on here and have these conversations and have these discussions with the CTP fam and not come at it from, you know, position of authority, because it's like, okay, I'm not telling you what I've heard, telling you what I know, you know.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, again, overall, it's a young product, young design team, and you know, eventually they'll get
it lined out.
Yeah, they'll get it.
What was you talking about? A joystick?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, man, what joystick are you using with this thing? Because I'm using this, I'm using my 320 joystick. But the problem is no trim buttons. You know, because if you look on the side stick, on the side stick on that thing, they got
they have trim buttons.
Yeah, it's trimmable. Yeah.
I'm using the oh, good Lord. EX from Winnie.
Left-handed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's jank. It is jank. Yeah, dude. I like hold the collar from the adapter.
Oh, good Lord.
You see it in there? You see it?
Yeah.
And then I got a autopilot disconnect.
Oh man, Strugglesville, bro.
I cannot do this because it literally pulls my mount off the floor.
Now it looks like you're shifting an 18-wheeler.
Man, close this thing down.
Yeah, tired of us, man. But yeah, guys, again, shout out to the Synaptic group for persevering, getting this thing out. Congratulations on the release. Yeah, we all we know it's rocky, but hey, it happens, right? Welcome to the sim community.
Yeah.
Oh man,
if you didn't know, you do now.
No, man, yes, sir. But man, aside from all that, you got anything for the good people, Charlie?
Yeah, everybody just keep the blue side up out there. Stay safe.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Again, congrats to the Synaptic team from CTP, and till next time, guys. Take care of yourselves and each other. See ya.
Peace.